Good morning, Zio here, and today we're going to be doing another review, because I found this game that I've been kind of playing and recently beat, that came out December, so I thought I'd share it with you, do a quick review on it, I'm trying to fill out a review process of how to actually do this, and I think this is what we're going to try and do today, so with all that, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, hit the subscribe button, like the video for more, and let's get into it, shall we? And this is something called Monster Sanctuary. So, what exactly is Monster Sanctuary? Monster Sanctuary, in a nutshell, if I was to put it into words, is Terraria meets Pokemon meets Castlevania or Metroidvania style kind of thing, maybe. So I want to do some different videos for this game, but I just wanted to take a look at it, give it a nice little look while physically playing it so we can go over things in real time, with this hopefully short review. But the premise of this game is pretty simple, right? You're tasked with getting your spirit beast, and I'm going to try not to do any spoilers or anything else like that. So the eagle following me around, that is your spirit beast. You pick one of 4 at the very start of the game, and you are tasked with essentially becoming a monster champion, a champion of everything, right? Similar to Pokemon, you've got the nice Terraria looking graphics, which at first I thought would kind of maybe, I don't know, put me off just a little bit, because I do like Terraria. There's nothing wrong with that, but this game, this catching monsters and stuff, I wasn't too sure how it was going to do on this 2D plane that was similar to this, but I like it, to be totally honest. It's not that bad once you get into it. So you're tasked with getting monsters, right? You catch monsters, and catching monsters are a bit different in this game. Since I've already beaten the game, we're just going to go into a thing real quick, but combat starts and you have essentially 6 monsters at your disposal, right? You've got 6, and you can switch your front line, which is going to be your party that is outside, with a back line at any time that you want to do so. Right? And then you're facing the other monsters that are floating about, of course. Now, in order to capture one of these things, you have to beat them and then get an egg. Unlike Pokemon, where you throw the Pokeball after you've weakened them or whatnot, this one you can just straight up beat them into the ground. And you will then get things like eggs for defeating them. Now, it's not always a guaranteed thing, so you may have to farm just a little bit to get the egg that you want. And of course, the ending rating plays into that. With battles, it is a little bit different, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But once you get an egg, you can then open said egg, and it will hatch into a brand new monster for you to use. You can then name said monster whatever it is that you want to name it, and then you can go down and take a look at your brand new hatched monster down at the very bottom of the screen and use it in combat. Now, that is capturing a monster. It's really not that hard at all. But yeah, I do have to say, I do like the aesthetic, and the music isn't that bad either. I couldn't really place it anywhere, per se, or whatnot, but somebody was over at the house, and they were like, "What are you playing? That sounds like," what was it they said? I think it was something from Metroid, and I was like, "No, I'm playing Monster Sanctuary. Here, take a look." And they really did like it. But the music isn't that bad either. The music, I think, complements all the areas that it appears in, depending on what you're doing, of course. But, you know, you get into this keeper's tower here where some other things are. Music changes to suit the thing, and I just realized I've been doing this whole thing, and we've had no audio. I am so sorry. Wow. So I'm talking about the music showcase and the music. I'm really bad at this. But yeah, it suits the area that you're in, right? Let's see. Let's move to another area. Whoa. Go down here. We're into the magma chamber. And the music's not bad at all. I kind of enjoy it. It's a nice little backdrop. But yeah, so the name of the game is to capture Pokemon, or capture monsters. Well, I'm going to do that a lot. As you probably know, I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, but I have my issues with that too. And I really do enjoy this game. I've sunk some hours into it, but your thing is to capture the monsters, right? You get this monster journal that chronicles the things that you capture, with the exception of these 4, because these are the spirit beasts from the start. I started with this one, and the others are just automatically in the journal. As far as I'm aware, you can't go and capture the others because there's only one, and there's already 4 other rivals, I guess you can call them, or 3 other rivals who have the other ones, right? But when you go in, you go through and you fill out this as you capture them. As you hatch eggs, you get stats and stuff for them. Let's see. Let's get towards the end here. You can see where I've not seen some. Obviously. And, you know, if you haven't actually captured one, you wind up having this. So you know what you've captured, what you haven't, right? You can go and check that anytime that you want to. There is an inventory system that honestly I feel needs some work. I need organization. Honestly, is the biggest thing. I need organization. If it's in here, I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Because when I click on something like this, it's like, do you want to hatch it? It's like, no, I would like to organize some of this stuff. Or if you click on a thing, it's like, do you want to use it? And then brings up the menu to immediately use it. And I can't actually physically organize this thing. You know, you don't have to give me auto organization, just allow me to organize it a little bit so I can put things where I want them. So, you know, that's a bit of a gripe on the system here when it comes to this. But, you know, as I can tell, there is no, like, hold limit to what you can hold. I mean, there might be an upper limit, like 999 or something of an item, but I haven't actually reached that. But, you know, there's no limit to how many items you can have at one time, because there is some crafting involved, and it's not a really deep, you know, in crafting system or anything. But yeah, you know, you can hold all sorts of items with very little limitations, it looks like, whatsoever. I just wish there was, you know, some ability to, I don't know, to organize. Now, these do organize slightly, I have noticed. If it's not a number, like you haven't enhanced it or anything, or don't have an enhancement, it is at the very back of the list, right? And then it organizes by 1, right? Or Wizard's Hat +2 will go into the 2s, and then 3s, and then 4s, and so on and so forth. So it does auto-organize that way, but I would really like to be able to search my items and go, okay, what all items do I have that have just, you know, that has crit chance on it of some kind? Or crit damage. Like, if I want to search all my items that have crit damage while I'm equipping a monster, I would like to be able to just filter everything out except for items that give crit damage, so then I would see something like Frozen Tear here, up here. You know, even if it does keep the, you know, current way that it does filter things with the pluses, keeping those organized, you know, at least then I can, you know, filter out everything like, say, Hide here. The Hide +3, it's not a crit chance or a crit damage item. I want to not filter that in my search results. That sort of thing, so I can at least keep some organization there, so it makes it easier to build the different equipment sets that I want. Now, other than, you know, Pokemon being pretty much just a rock, paper, scissors game, this game does have something similar to that as well. There are, you know, weaknesses and resistances that monsters have. There's also different types of monsters later on into the game that you get where they have sort of this shift between a neutral state, a light, and a dark state, and it changes things about the monsters. As you can look right here, this is a dark shifted fungi, and the stats there are shown right there on the left side, and it's represented by bars and then a numeral value, right? And that tells you how much sort of goes into those stats. If you look at the gray bars next to each thing, which is, attack, magic, defense, life, and mana in that order, the gray bars is its standard stat pool. That's what the fungi normally will have. The blue bars, aside from that, is things that it gains for shifting into its dark mode. And it changes when it shifts into light mode to a different setting. And then the lighter color ones there are ones that I have gone through the skill tree and given it an upgrade to. Yes, they're skill trees too. You can also, of course, feed your monsters food, which will give benefits, and it will keep the last 3 fed. So the last 3 things, the orange, the carrot, and the carrot, will permanently increase this until I feed it something else and it knocks the bottom one off, which gives it a little bit of customization there. You can add some more crit damage, health, mana, or I think that might be it. Might be one more thing in there. Health, mana, crit damage. Yeah, anyway, this is an explanation video. This is a review, right? A sort of a different form of review than, I guess, probably normal. But you can also equip monsters with equipment, which do different things, which is where I was getting on about wanting some kind of way to filter my items. But you can give monsters essentially you can equip a monster with 1 weapon and 3 accessories. Alright, so you can go ahead and equip it with a weapon and then 3 separate accessories, and of course there's always a few exceptions to the rule on very few things. But the next thing is they're given skill trees. Now, it's not like this long drawn out arduous thing for resetting a skill tree. There's an item called a skill resetter. They're fairly cheap, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, they cost a little bit of money, and you can reset this tree and do whatever you want with it. But as everything levels up, they gain skill points, right? And then you can put 1 skill point into one of these things, and then make your way down the tree. On the left side, it tells you what levels you need to be in order to access that, as there's also little lines, as you can see, connecting things where you have to have something in that to connect to the lower tree, which essentially are pretty much attack skills. The second level of the attack skill will then lower it down here, but sometimes they have new attacks on those things, and if you take one of those, it will still allow you to access everything on the run below it as well, which I think is a nice way of doing things. Gives you some customization. Things may not always be the same. Where my fungi is built a certain way, somebody else may come in with a different kind of fungi built a completely different way. For instance, Gerudo here has the ability to not only deal some damage and do different things, they can do water stuff, they can do fire damage, they can shield, putting shields up on things, or you can go down and take restoration to heal people, that sort of thing. So, it gives some different things that you can do. There's this limited, there's only like 40 points in total that you can get, with the exception of an item that can only be used once to give everybody, I think, a 41 point total. But yeah, that's a thing. So that gives a lot more customization than I think I have seen in a long time, especially when it comes to a Pokemon-esque game, which I'm quite frankly enjoying quite a bit. Of course you have teams of 6, but only 3 fight at a time, and all 3 do fight. They will all go out and fight. So let's go find a quick fight, I guess. But yeah, all 3 will go out and fight for you, and you can attack anything that happens to be in the fight itself. Now, when you do get into combat, you've got some things here. You can choose your monster, so if you want to come out with 3 different monsters, and I didn't mean to actually select it straight up like that, you can do that. You can also retreat. Now, retreating from a battle does require an item to use it, so keep that in mind. And then whatever the other. No, wait, yeah. Or just start, which will start with your current 3 at the front of your line. When you do get into a battle, you can use bumpers or whatnot to essentially select who goes first. So you can pick who you want to do what they are going to do first thing. And of course, when you do select them, you can then pick one of all 3 of the guys out here, which will then give you some information on the monster, what it's weak to, what it's resistant to, and things like that. So we'll just go ahead and attack now. Unfortunately, this is not an attacker. This is my pure defense little worm here, so you know, it is what it is. But he'll do what he can, even if he can't take down a low-level thing. It's great for defense, though. When the battle ends, you're given combat results, which, you know, at first was me looking at it going, I'm not too sure about that, because it feels, I don't know, mobile-esque kind of thing. But, you know, it does actually add another level to it of things to do, like, for instance, 6-starring, which I did not know it was a thing until I beat a boss and accidentally 6-starred it somehow. And I thought 5 stars was the max, but essentially you get a star rating. The higher the star, it increases rare loot chances and gold bonus at the end of the battle. And then it will also give you combat results of enemy difficulty, combat duration, how long it took to take out the enemy, the healthiness of your monsters, how much HP they have left, buffs and debuffs, how many were at it, and the execution of all of it culminating together, which I'm not really sure how it's properly calculated. At the end of the battle, you'll obtain gold and items, of course, in order to use, and then experience for everybody in your in your party. So that's battling in a nutshell. Pretty simple, pretty easy. There is another type of battling as well. Well, you know what? We'll go into this first. Let's go back down and do crafting real quick. It's very simple, very straightforward. It is not in-depth at all. But here in the Monster Sanctuary, or the Stronghold Keep or whatever, this is your main base, right? This is where you're going to go to at the beginning of the game after you find the old man or whoever. Right at the start, you'll go here and you've got items. And then, you have this guy here who is a smith who will upgrade armor and weapons, right? And crafting is pretty simple. You just pretty much go to something you want. You look to see if you have the materials available. You tell it to craft it, and it crafts it. +5, of course, is going to be the max. You cannot go above that. It is max upgraded at that point. But there you go. Crafting is very simple, very short, very sweet. And after you get up in certain ranks, this person will actually sell you a lot of the different stuff. So if you are short in emerald or whatnot, you can come over here, purchase said emerald, and be on your way and craft. And don't skimp on it as well. Find better items and equip them because you will need them. Now, you have a thing called the Keeper Tower here, which, you know, has a guy here that you can duel to increase, or to pretty much show your rank, right? So you duel him to essentially progress onto the next rank, or at least that's how the game tells you to, but in reality, just beat a bunch of champion monsters, which is the bosses of this game essentially are duels between NPCs and yourself, and something called a champion monster, which we will go look at here in a second. Beat enough of the champion monsters, your rank automatically goes up. You don't really have to go duel the guy every time, even though the game tells you you have to. But they're there if you want to go challenge yourself on, you know, different levels and whatnot. Over here, there is an online component. That is not this. This is the infinite thing. But over here, you will find an online component where you can then battle people online. You can start matchmaking, you can do online arenas and battle them. I have not done it, so I can't really rate how fair it is or anything else like that, or how it actually matches. It just says it matches you, and it does have a leaderboard here for you to look at, and you can sort of see other people's ratings, their wins to loss, and what team they're using. And that's about the only details you get. So you can't come here and go look and go, okay, well, how are they using that Spectre or that Druid, whatever it's called, kind of thing. You know, you can't really get an in-depth look at it like that. At the top, I'm not 100% sure what it is yet, because it has something to do with becoming the monster champion or master, which I haven't actually gone and done yet. I'm in the part of the game where I could probably go and do that. Just haven't done it yet. So I can't really speak too much on that. Over here is something they call the Infinite Arena. Essentially, it allows you to keep fighting higher and higher and higher for better rewards. And the monsters get stronger and stronger and stuff like that. And essentially, you just fight until you lose. It's sort of like an infinite dungeon kind of deal, I guess, other than one that actually won't end until you die. And then over here is where you can re-challenge you know, monsters that you've already fought. You know, we'll do this. Monsters that you've already fought. This is what they call a champion, a thing I was talking about earlier. But essentially, this is where the boss is, right? When you fight a boss monster, you're going to have a fight like this. It's usually going to be a monster of some kind, and he's going to be jacked up in power, a lot stronger than normal. And yeah, and you're forced to fight them, and these fights can get insanely hard if you don't have a good, you know, the right team or anything else going for you. But yeah, essentially you just go, you fight them, you'll find them in the wild. There'll be bosses in front of important things that you need, and you know, they work. I'm kind of enjoyed it. But yeah, this is a section of the tower that allows you to essentially reface these guys, because some of these things are only a once and done see, right? Once you do it, there is no seeing them out in the wild again. You do get rewards for doing that, of course. But yeah, there's several here that you only see in the wild one time. And in order to get the egg form, you have to 5-star these things. That's the whole thing. Like the Goblin King here, there ain't no Goblin Kings out in the wild other than the one time you see this champion monster and you take it out. But yeah, this is turning into a how-to, isn't it? This is a review. Anyway, so this game is a cross between Pokemon and Terraria and Metroidvania style things. Definitely worth a look at. Gosh, I'm not sure how much it costs. I think it's around $20 on Steam. I got mine off of Microsoft due to Microsoft Xbox Play, where I get games for free. Anyway, you should probably try that out too, especially if you have an Xbox. Definitely worth the money. But yeah, the game is fun. I'm hoping there's going to be more from, I think it's Team 17 who did this, and it's been a while since I've seen a Team 17 game actually worth playing, to be totally honest, besides, you know, Worms Armageddon. It's been a while. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is definitely a game worth picking up and playing. It's a lot of fun. I did enjoy the story, and you know, if you enjoy Pokemon, but say maybe Pokemon hasn't done it for you like it has in the past, you know, probably something to pick up, take a look at, and I hope they do more. So the game is relatively new, so only time will tell. I will talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.